Everybody, let your limbs sway. Where are your limbs? Let them sway and dance in the breeze. And remember your roots. And I'm speaking to the children at the Bruderhof too. I didn't mean to leave you out. Okay. Now, thank you. Do you guys want to sit on the cold ground, or do you're fine right here? They're teaching. I shouldn't have asked. Now, I would like to introduce. I would like to introduce a very important person. This man has been the Shade Tree Commissioner in Warwick for, I think, over 40 years. He's a commissioner of trees. Wouldn't you love to be that and say that you did that? Well, he's going to come up and talk to you for a moment, and his name is Mr. Roger Metzger.
You were very close in 46 years. And I haven't been this cold since I was in Antarctica. So, no, I just want to say, I was kind enough to ask me to drop by and say a few words. I will say just a very few. First, there was an incredibly nice young lady that escorted us in here, Sienna Lee, and I just want to thank her very much. Secondly, we had our program this morning, which is the Arbor Day program, and we did plant a flowering cherry because it is commemoration of 100 years that the Japanese gave the U.S. government some trees to plant in Washington, D.C. And we had some little questions and answers with the young folks, what the trees do. And I just think it's important that everyone should know. I don't think there's a single thing that purifies the air any more than trees. They take pollutants such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and they stabilize the ground. They keep the earth, it retains the moisture in the soil, and it just makes everything a better place for growing and being. And there's nothing much more important in my life than trees. And I think everyone here should get the opportunity, and you can talk your mom or dad into it. You should try to plant a tree someplace in your yard, and I'll give you a little bit of guidance, not on the front lawn because it'll be mowed off. So please try to plant a tree. It's just something you might enjoy as you go through life, and just go visit it once a year and you'll see what a wonderful thing you've done for yourself and for nature and other people. Pat, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. The whole community thanks you. I'm going to go off the program a little because I see that Mayor Newhart, our mayor of Warwick, I know how busy he is, and he's probably been to 5 Arbor Days today, but Mayor Newhart certainly supports us in town, in the village, with all our gardens, but I'm sure he has something he would like to.
Thank you, Pat. Yes, I've been to a few Arbor Day ceremonies today, and isn't it great that we have so many in our community? We are a community of trees, of really beautiful trees, important trees. When people come into our valley, the one thing they do recognize is how many trees we have and how wonderful they are. And we have trees that line our streets and trees that make up our orchards. We have centennial trees, trees that have been here hundreds of years. And that is such a great legacy, and to have a community that really understands the importance of trees is such a great place to live. You've got a long life to live and many trees to plant. And I think that's something great to look forward to. So I would take the words of Mr. Metzger, go home and say, hey Mom, hey Dad, let's plant a tree. It'll be the best friend you've ever planted in your life. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to keep to task here. Operation Conservation, I know you received a handout coming in, and I know the children are anxious for you to come back in a few weeks and see how we go here. But I'm going to ask Mrs. Hamburger if she would explain to us a little about the Operation Conservation.
So hello, all you tree huggers out there. You gotta love a tree to come and thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Pat asked me to explain a little bit about Operation Conservation. What became Operation Conservation really began with an inspiration from the two Pi 5 teachers, Colin McLaughlin and Rob Kershke. They asked, could we collaborate and spend the school year on the theme of conservation? Well, sure. As we introduced the theme to the fifth graders, we asked the big questions of what does it mean to be a conservationist, and how might I become one? We learned that our environment has many categories within conservation. There's air, there's water, wild animals and plants, wild places, soil, minerals, and energy. That is a lot of things to know about. Rob and Colin could integrate what their students needed to know in these S is for science, T is for technology, E is for engineering, and M is for math subjects. In educational jargon, that's STEM, and it's a big deal for preparing students for the real-world experiences in the 21st century. We realized that we needed role models of real people who used STEM in a conscious, conservationist manner. So we asked green technology contractor Tom Wagler to join us. In our first weekly meeting, we began researching early conservationists, John Muir, Rachel Carson, and Ansel Adams. John Muir co-founded the National Park System with President Theodore Roosevelt, and he also began the Sierra Club. He said that not only should we protect and preserve our environment, but we should appreciate the beauty and the grandeur of nature around us. So we asked rustic artist Daniel Mack to join us and bring beauty and A is for arts to the STEM study. Thus STEM becomes STEAM. As the classes looked around for a laboratory to apply our newfound knowledge, we settled on this abandoned and fallow courtyard. Kids set the goal to make the courtyard a better place for conservation and beauty. The STEAM groups of 35 Pi 5th graders, their 2 teachers, and 3 weekly volunteers have been joined by parents and community groups who brought their knowledge and skills to Operation Conservation. And Principal Longfield helped us out every time we got stuck. We appreciate that, Roger. We have learned so much in problem solving together, not the least of which is that good results often come from collaboration and hard, dirty work. We are following a gardener's calendar, and the winter has been a time of planning, of model building, learning to use the tools, soil testing, starting seeds and composting, and now we are just beginning to see some of those plans and dreams take form. It was about this time of year, the Earth Day, Arbor Day time frame, that Superintendent Bryant said that he would like to see sustainable gardens in each of our schools. Our plan is to have our efforts spread to other courtyards and grounds in other schools according to their goals. It is our plan, it is our hope. These 5th graders will become 6th graders next year at our middle school. They know a lot of stuff that they would like to share. There will be a new bunch of 5th graders coming to carry on this sustainable Sanfordville project with lots more to learn. It's not just a Pi 5 courtyard. How do we bring in the school community members from around the courtyard? Students of the Pi 5 Courtyard Project, with guidance, developed their own logo, a website, an email address, a budget from return bottle deposits and seed sales, and a motto. Their motto is, every leaf, on every tree we support. We think that this beautiful fountain cherry tree that the Warwick Valley Gardeners have so generously trusted to our conservationist care has found a good home. Thank you.
I didn't need this, but now we're going to have the students read from their nature journals. Who's first? This is Emma.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I'll be reading a poem from my nature journal. Oh, I memorized it. There's an oak tree standing in the distance. It has tiny, intricate twigs coming off the branches. They're reaching away from the tree that they once grew up on. They sway with the breeze, asking to go with it wherever it may go. Knowing they can't, they relent and become still, just like the rest of the tree. Thank you.
What's your last name, Emma? What is it? Cuba?
Jakubik.
Jakubik. So we'll have to watch for her because she's going to be published soon. Who's next? Who are you? Oh, Marielle Marley, and thank you for bringing me in before. You were great.
It is a beautiful morning. The sun is bright and warm, yet the air is cool and crisp. In the distance, I see a sycamore tree, on which the sun is shining with great brilliance. Because the sycamore is a bright white and all the trees around it are dark, it looks as if it is glowing. Behind the sycamore is a fir tree, which stands out among many others, making the sycamore look like a magnifying glass, leaning upon the fir tree.
Lovely. More. Ian. This is Ian Merta.
Spring has arrived. The spring has brought its warmth that has released us from the cold cage of winter. It has smashed the ice of winter, making buds and fresh blooms explode from the ground, releasing animals, nature, and life from their hiding places, their hibernation. The sun has vanquished the snow and the blizzards, turning ice into rain. The rain cascades down from the sky, smashing to the ground, and making the frozen soil wet and damp. And from the ground sprouts grass and buds. I feel a sense of renewal as I watch the bees buzz and the trees grow small flowers and fruits. I watch the sun come out again, blasting the sky with a blinding light. Butterflies flit and cavort through the air. Beautiful kites in the shapes of dragons and birds swirl in the breeze. Worms wiggle, enjoying the smoothness of the earth, relishing the newness of spring. The branches of the trees shake, waving at me in happiness that their rich green hair is starting to grow again. The clouds are beautiful, elegant wisps that slowly move across the sky. Winter has been vanquished. Spring has returned.
I think Wordsworth has some competition here. That's it? Oh no, that's the best part. Thank you. I'm sure all of you are poets, right? Thank you for the music. Thank you. I'd like to ask Mr. Tom Waldman to come up.